Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon. It's Tarot Tuesday. And so today I wanted to do something fun with a tarot deck. And so I'm calling this one Tarot Tips and a Follow Along. And we are going to use the theme of your twin flame journey connection. Okay. So even if you don't identify with the twin flame concept, you can still basically use this as a guide to get specific answers for specific questions that you might have, just using any tarot deck. I have happened to be using my Twin Flame Journey Tarot, which is available for purchase if you guys are interested down below. Today's Organites are called the Divine Masculine and Feminine Earth Sign Nudes, created by Michelle from Wing and Bell. So this to me is something that I like to do. I like to get creative with decks. And the reason that I'm using a tarot deck is because, you know, pretty much all tarot decks have the same exact outline. Oracles are going to be different. So what I've done, just to kind of save us some time, let me get rid of this pop-up, just to save up some time, is I went ahead and created and selected 11 cards. And I'm just using the number 11 because, you know, 1111, it's the spiritual awakening card, twin flame, you know, energy sort of thing. So I just was like, you know what, let's go ahead and choose 11 cards. So what I suggest you guys do with your deck is any tarot deck that you have is just basically, you know, just kind of turn it over and just kind of go through all the different cards and kind of figure out what you want to ask about either your twin flame connection or just your life in general. Okay. So like I said, in order to save ourselves some time, I went ahead and already pre-selected my cards. And then what I did is I attached a question to it. So you guys can see here, I've already done this. I've, you know, selected these cards here that you can see, and then we're going to go through it. Okay. And answer all of those questions. And I arranged it to kind of like flow, like I do for my normal, you know, readings. So anyways, you guys, what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle, and then we're going to find our cards, the significators in the deck, and then we're going to basically use the energy of the card in front of it and after it. And sometimes your card will be at the beginning or the end of the deck, and in that case you'll only have one card to really go with it to amplify that message or to give us more information about that message. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is the Emperor. So I'm going to shuffle this deck. And then when I turn it over, and this can be time consuming, so, you know, if you guys want to fast forward through me flipping through the cards to find the card, that's totally fine. Or up the playback speed so it goes a little bit quicker. So we're looking for the Emperor. And the question for the Emperor that I have, and you guys can use this as a personal reading if you'd like to, because we're tapping into somebody's twin flame connection here. The divine masculine's overall energy is what we're going to be looking into. And this is going to be just his overall energy in general, where he's at right now on his twin flame journey. So we're going to look for the Emperor, you guys. What is the Emperor's message here with where the masculine is currently at this particular time? Let's look. Where are you, the Emperor? I swear sometimes it's like the very last card, like, really? Okay. We're looking for the Emperor. Where are you, Divine Masculine? There he is. Okay, so I'm taking these two cards here. All right, this is very interesting. So please, guys, just take it as it resonates, or this might just be like a sample situation. We have two queens. Now, this could mean a variety of different things. This could be two aspects of the divine feminine, which would be you, the person watching this video, majority of my viewers, or this could be a third-party situation. There could be two feminines around this particular masculine that he is kind of either stuck in between, or it just could be that he has a lot of thoughts, or like I said, there's just two aspects. So I'm going to read actually both interpretations, okay? So the card that is, let's just say, behind the masculine, if you were with your masculine at one point in time, it could be that that's why you're behind him, meaning like, not that he's leaving you behind, but you're in that past energy position. So the sharp and assertive Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is awesome. You know, she does get a bad rap, but she gets a bad rap because if you mess with her, you're going to have to own up to your shit with her in order to basically get back into her good graces. So the way that I'm looking at this energy, and it is specific of Libra's energy. So that could also be like a specific sign where it's like that's you or something else. The Queen of Pentacles is Capricorn's energy. So we have Libra and Capricorn, air and earth sign. But what I'm getting here with this particular masculine sitting in between these two energies, this could literally be him while he's with a Queen of Pentacles. Maybe this is the mother of his children, the person that he's decided to settle down with, the person that he is just kind of comfortable with, but he still has a lot of thoughts and a lot of unresolved issues with this Queen of Swords. There could be this lack of communication between the two of them, okay? But if this is the feminine split into two and there's not a third party situation, what I'm getting here is his overall energy is that he's thinking very much about needing to communicate with this divine feminine, and he's craving her to be calm and nurturing if he decides to come forward. So that's, of course, if you guys are experiencing a challenge or a separation. It could be the Queen of Swords was very intimidating in the past, right? Very harsh with words or delivery or communication. There was a lot of miscommunication in the past, but perhaps now when he's thinking about the feminine, he's looking at more of this like stable energy with her. He's feeling her more of a stable type of energy. So energies could have shifted with his thoughts about the feminine. But all I know is that this emperor right now is thinking about the feminine, or he's thinking about the feminine while he's with someone else, is what I'm seeing here. Okay. So that right there is indicating to us this is the overall energy. And we can also say, hey, maybe the queens are not people around him. These are parts of his personality. It could be that his thoughts are really on his money right now. His thoughts are really on his coins, his pentacles, and he's trying to figure out how he's going to survive. If he has children, maybe he's trying to figure out how he's going to be the best role for them that he possibly can. So his mind or his energy could be tied up in thoughts of money, finances, and survival. We could also look at it that way as well. So just take it how it feels right for you. So then what I do is I put these two cards back in the deck, but I'm going to put the Emperor up here because we're already done with that significator. And what I like to do is I like to just kind of place them in randomly so they're not close together. All right, so now we're going to go into the Empress energy, you guys. And as you know, the Empress of the tarot for me is the Divine Feminine. And these are the majority of my viewers, so I feel like I'm going to speak to you directly. Divine Feminine, this is your overall energy. Okay, this might be connected to the masculine, or it could just be separate. All right, so what is the Divine Feminine's energy? And I forgot to say this, you guys could follow along with this and basically, use your own deck following along and grab your own cards while I'm doing this too. Okay, so we are looking for the Divine Feminine now. Where is the Divine Feminine and what is her energy currently? Here we go, Divine Feminine. Okay, so the Divine Feminine is coming through with the Six of Cups energy. So we know that that's nostalgia, memories of the past, right? With the Page of Pentacles, concrete energy. Okay, so I feel like the feminine here, maybe in the past she's thought a lot about her divine masculine, or she's just thought a lot about herself in the past as in reflecting. She's reflecting on who she used to be, how far she's come, how much she's grown. Because the Page of Pentacles is now planting new seeds in your life, basically. And instead of kind of getting lost in memories, we're actually doing things. Because it's one thing to dream and imagine how we want our lives to be, and it's another thing to start putting our one foot in front of the other and taking action steps to make those things happen. And I feel like that's where you are, feminine. Wherever you were at before, I feel like you're actually doing something concrete. You're doing something physically. You're making moves now on your thoughts, and you're manifesting the life that you want to create. So to me, this is a very positive and empowering position for the feminine. This tells me here that instead of letting the past rule her, she's taking the wisdom from the past, learning from it, and now proceeding forward with new ideas and new inspiration. And basically living your life regardless of what is either still not happening, which could be the connection between you and your masculine, or just, you know, no longer blaming yourself for things that you either wish you could have done differently in the past. You're kind of letting go of that energy, and you're not letting your missing of someone rule your life. You're still able to grow. You're still able to basically move forward with your life. And I just love to see that for Divine Feminine. So that's where you're at right now and who you are. So that's the energy here. All right. So we'll put these back in the deck, put the Empress aside, and our next position, our next card is the World. So the World for me represents karma and the ending of major cycles and closure. So what karmic cycles and lessons are coming to a close for your twin flame connection? Let's look at this. All right, let's look for the World's energy. There we go. The World, those two cards here. Okay. So the World energy, we've got Leo and Sagittarius. So we have some fire sign energies here. But what we have is the karmic cycles that are coming to a close, these lessons and cycles that are coming to a close in your connection. Well, the Temperance card, of course, a lot of people will see this as a reconciliation card, right? Restoring balance in this connection. I feel like what was going to restore, or what's restoring balance in this connection, is obviously the completion of some sort of cycle. And what I forgot to mention to you guys is that whenever I do readings like this, there's certain cards that represent certain things to me. The Empress represents the Divine Feminine. The Masculine is represented by the Divine the Emperor is represented by the Divine Masculine. And also the pages are, for me, like thoughts and ideas, right? The Knights, for me, are the movement of these ideas, right? And depending on what suit it falls into or how I'm feeling about that card, it can either be the masculine or the feminine. But the queens are feminine, the kings are masculine. So the reason I'm saying this is because we're asking a specific question. What karmic cycles and lessons are coming to a close? I feel like something is coming to a close and a lesson is being completed for this divine masculine right now. That's what I'm getting here. And that's what it's been like. That may have been what the holdup has been of either a reconciliation for a while, because the masculine was still learning some sort of lesson here. The King of Wands is somebody who learns through their experiences. They learn by going out into the world and figuring out who they are, by failing, but also by their successes as well. So the King of Wands, to me, it's like they have a vision, they go after it, they execute that vision, and it either works or it doesn't work, but they learn by their experiences. So I feel like this masculine had to go off into the world, and he had to figure something out for himself. He had to figure out what he really wanted. And so I feel like this particular karmic cycle and lesson is starting to come to a close. It doesn't mean that it's completely over. It just means that what has been needed to restore the masculine inside, that was necessary in order for the two of you to have any kind of a chance for a reconciliation. So that is something that is in the midst of happening right now, and the masculine is kind of in that leadership role to conquer some sort of karmic lesson and basically apply the wisdom moving forward. And the King of Wands is somebody who's extremely confident and they're aware of themselves. And so with this new awareness, they're actually able to move forward and communicate and to go after the things that they truly want. So if there was not that feeling of, I feel like I can't do that, I feel like this is a feeling that's wrapping up. There's going to be more confidence and more belief in oneself and seeing the world with a new, fresh set of eyes than there was ever before for the masculine. So that's something that has happened here. So that's what we're seeing. Okay, so let's put the world aside, and now we're going to go into the energy here of the Six of Cups, which actually already came through for the feminine. And the Six of Cups is what memories does your twin flame, okay, and if you're a divine feminine, if you're a divine masculine, have tied to you right now. What memories does your twin flame have tied to you at this time? There it is. Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles, And then we have the Four of Swords. So we have that earth and air energy coming up again when it comes to this masculine, which is kind of interesting. So for me, it's a lot about thinking about things in a logical and practical way. So if this masculine is having a lot of memories of the past or is nostalgic on your connection, I feel like he's not as open to letting it affect him in an emotional, deep, soulful way. It doesn't mean that he doesn't see you as significant or of any of importance. What I'm getting here, though, is that he's not letting himself go to a super deep emotional place with this connection. And it could be because a lot of his energy has been tied up on finding himself and figuring out who he is in the world. Okay. I do feel like when it came to the past with you, the two of you, he probably felt like it was not a wise investment at the time for him to really invest completely in your connection. Now, that's not a fault of yours. It could just be that this masculine at that time felt like he was not prepared for this kind of a connection. He wasn't prepared financially. He still felt like he hadn't lived his life. He felt like he hadn't figured out who he was or what was meant for him, etc. So he's had a lot of healing and recovery around the way that he thinks and the way that he thought about your connection at one time. I feel like things are probably shifting for him right now, and he's probably seeing things differently than he was before. I feel like he was too wrapped up in his thoughts of finances or success to be able to make room in his life for this particular feminine. Okay. So when he thinks about this, it could be that he's nostalgic and maybe feels a little bit of that regret that had he been stronger back then, he would have invested in this connection, right? But then there's also this part of him that realizes that you guys needed to have this period of time where you recovered some aspects of yourself, and you couldn't have done it while you were together. I mean, you could have, but this masculine didn't feel like he could. He felt like he needed to be alone, or he needed to have other experiences in order to find himself. So I feel like this energy has finally come to like a resting place. The masculine's energy has finally calmed down. He's finally at a point in his life, and he could be older now. He's finally at a point in his life where his energy and his experiences are starting to settle down. And you know, when things start to settle down, life slows down, then you start to go back into reflection mode. You have the time to think about things that maybe you let pass by. And that is what I'm getting here for this masculine, is that there's a little bit of this, I wish I could go back and do things differently. But at the same time, I know that I couldn't have done this any differently. So it's like it had to be this way, is what I'm seeing here. But there's a tinge of, I wish I could have seen things differently back then. I wish I knew now. I wish I knew then what I know now, because I would have made different choices. And that's actually from one of my Twin Flame Journey Messages cards. And that's what I'm picking up on for this particular masculine. He wishes he could have seen things differently and done things differently. But at the end of the day, he couldn't have done it any differently. Just couldn't. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the energy here of the Page of Cups. What do they want to apologize for? So we're going to assume that maybe there was some kind of an issue or a challenge in your connection. What was that regret? What's the regret that they have? What do they want to apologize for, if anything? Let's see what this looks like. So we're going to look for the Page of Cups. Page of Cups for this masculine. What does this masculine want to apologize for or explain maybe something from the past? His past actions, behaviors, things that could have been confusing or hurtful. Okay, so we have these two. Alrighty, so the Page of Cups. We've got the Sun, which is Leo's energy, and I really like that. Oh, and we have Sagittarius energy. So a lot of fiery energy. Sagittarius and Leo coming up again. So that could be significant for some of you guys. But this right here just proves to me that this is the explanation that this masculine has. Look, I'm sorry that I didn't know who I was back then. I'm sorry that I wasn't grown up enough for this connection. I'm sorry I couldn't see. So that's what he's apologizing for. Because the Knight of Wands is somebody that's not ready to settle down. I do feel, because of this illumination and growth that has occurred. I've already put the cards back. Remember, we had the Knight of Wands. This is a masculine that is has resurrected into this King of Wands. I believe he was the Knight of Wands before in the past. And because of that, he had to go on that journey in order to transform into the King of Wands. And he couldn't have done that unless he had opportunities to grow and see things a different way. So I feel like what this masculine is saying here is that I apologize for any actions that I took or any things that I may have said to you that hurt you or made you feel like you didn't matter or that you weren't important to me. But at the same time, at that time in our lives, whenever that was, or it could just be something that's happening right now, I have to figure out who I am. I have to figure out, something about my life. And I just basically need to figure something out on my own. And I'm sorry about that. I just didn't know who I was, and I just couldn't settle down at the time. So I feel like he has since grown since then. So this could be like a long-standing type of like a separation where there's been a lot of time to grow and to heal. Okay. The Sagittarius energy too is also about expansion. Needed freedom and space and time to grow. That's just the way it needed to be here for this masculine. He wouldn't have seen it any other way. So as much as he is sorry and as much as he does look at the past with some regret, he also is understanding and realizes that he had to basically do it this way. It wouldn't have worked otherwise. It just wouldn't have. He wouldn't have come to this realization otherwise. So that's what we're getting with that. Let's go into the Page of Swords energy, which is what are they seeing right now and how is it making them feel? Now, this could be a variety of different ways. He's thinking about you. He's looking at your picture. He's trying to find information about you online, or he actually has found you online and is able to see your profile of some sort. So what is he seeing and how is it making him feel right now? Page of Swords. What are his thoughts about what he is seeing right now? Okay, well, we have the Two of Cups that just wanted to fly out. It's making him feel love. It's making him feel perhaps like you're that person for him. Okay. But let's look for that Page of Swords. Page of Swords, where are you? There we are. Oh, we have the Sun coming through again. Okay. Ooh, and we have the Ten of Swords. Very painful card. Painful ending here. Okay. So what I'm getting here is that he's seeing you like a bright shining star, which if you think about it, the sun is a star. Okay. Seeing you like a bright shining star. Wow. You've grown so much. So if some of you guys do have a social media, I mean, if you have social media, even if it's locked down, people can still find your profile picture unless you have it like cleverly done to where they can't even, people can't look you up that don't know you kind of thing. But the majority of people can be found, even if it's just a little bit of information. Whatever little bit of information this masculine has sought after and has found, I feel has brought to his attention how much you've grown, or wow, you've really expanded. You've really grown. But we have this shining bright star. So some of you guys could be some sort of presence online, or you could be running a business where this masculine is basically seeing that you're doing so much at this time in your particular life. So the Sun is, of course, a happy card. So it does bring some sort of joy and happiness when he sees how much you've grown or sees you in this bright shining light. It could also be like you stand out above all the rest. So when he looks at your photo or when he has thoughts about you, he really sees you as something very significant in his life. Okay. But we also have this Ten of Swords card, painful ending. Wow. So I'm not sure if something terrible happened in the very end of your connection. There could have been like a stabbing in the back, just a figure of speech situation where you felt really screwed over. This masculine might have thoughts about the painful ending between the two of you. So with the pain, he also has happy thoughts as well. So it's a mix is what I'm getting here. So when he sees you, how it's making him feel is wow, but it's also reminding him of whoa, of what happened in the past, or maybe what went down, or if he did something, how much pain. I just got, wow, you survived. You healed. It didn't kill you. And it makes him feel almost a little insignificant in your life. It makes him feel like, wow, you got over me. It's evident. I'm seeing here you've moved on. I guess I really wasn't like, it wasn't enough for you to stop your life over, as in stop living basically and stop moving forward. Not to say that this masculine wanted that, but you know how sometimes you get nostalgic and you look at people from the past and then you see they've moved on, they're married, they have kids, and you're just like, wow, like they've moved on with their life. I guess what I did didn't really affect them that much. That's what I'm picking up on for this masculine. Is that he's seeing you as grown or happy or healing despite what happened between the two of you. You've made some sort of shift and it does make him happy, but then there's also that reminder of the pain that was caused or how he may be insignificant in your life because of what he's seeing about you online. These are just the thoughts. That doesn't mean that's real. It's just these are the thoughts that he's having here. Okay. And also, like if he looks at your picture or thinks about you, as much as it makes him happy, there's also this downfall of what happened. Like that's still there. That's still a factor of what happened and maybe how things ended. It ended pretty bad for some of you guys. So he thinks about that. All right. So now we're going to move on now into the Strength card. And the Strength is all about what is your twin flame holding back right now. So what are they restraining themselves of right now when it comes to you in this connection? What are they holding back? All right, here we go. Strength's right there, right out of the gate. And we've got that Knight of Wands energy again. Sagittarius and Leo. So for some reason, Sagittarius and Leo have come up several times now in this reading. That could be significant. But now we have Virgo with the Knight of Pentacles. So we've got that earth energy. Actually, we got Capricorn and we also had Libra. So, I mean, we've really had everything except for water, if you think about it for some reason. And that could be an indication so far. And of course, now that I said that, we'll probably get water. But this could be an indication here where somebody might be really trying to push feeling something here, as in they're really trying to repress their feelings. Because they know if they feel too much or if they really dive into that Ten of Swords energy, it's just going to be very sad and it's going to be tragic. And I feel like this divine masculine doesn't really want to go into that state. He wants to kind of keep his head above water and kind of keep trucking along and doing what he needs to do. So I kind of feel like what this masculine is doing, his coping mechanisms of dealing with the loss or dealing with being separated from you right now, divine feminine, or whatever's going on in your life, I feel like he's just trying to focus on what he needs to do, his creative passions, and just making steady progress in his physical world, his material world, etc. So that's where he seems to shift his thoughts. Now, the Knight of Pentacles or Knight of Wands is somebody who is coming towards you in a very passionate way. They feel very passionate about you. They feel very excited. In the heat of the moment, he might want to contact you. That is also restrained. He's pulling himself back from reaching out to you or traveling towards you. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles is also commitment. It's long term. It's very slow and steady energy. So what I'm getting here is hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Really pulling himself back from just like making a knee-jerk reaction decision. So I feel like he feels very intense in certain moments and he really has to steady himself from basically reaching out to you or just kind of trying to pop back into your life. So I do feel like it's a difficult task when it comes up, and it might not be all the time, but when this really intense feeling comes up, I feel like he really needs to throw himself into work or throw himself into projects or doing something even in the physical world, such as exercising and things like that, to try to sustain that energy, or not sustain, try to dismiss that energy or just like mellow out that energy. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. So that's how he's holding back right now. He's holding back his passions for you, his desires to want to come towards you, and also just trying to put his feelings on ice and not feel them by living life to the fullest and maybe just making money or being physical in the world, such as working out and things like that. All right. So now we're going to go into the Lover's energy, which is what is the current purpose of this connection? What is the purpose of this connection currently? All right, let's look at the Lover's energy. Lover's energy with what is the current purpose. There it is. Okay. All right. We have the King of Pentacles. Stable. That's a very stable energy, right? And then we've got the Lovers, and then we've got the Six of Swords. So the current purpose of the connection right now is for both twin flames to become stabilized, perhaps to become stabilized in their physical surroundings, their physical world, their material world, etc. This will create smooth sailing and tranquility for forward momentum. Right now, it could be that you guys are in a little bit of a stormy situation or a stormy period in your connection, but also in your individual lives. So that maybe there's a lot of things to be ironed out or a lot of things to be basically dealt with and corrected. Now, the King, of course, like I said before, does represent the energy here of the masculine, okay? And I just feel like until he stabilizes himself and feels like he has true value and feels very rock solid in his life, that might be what is holding him back from basically taking the two of you into this more tranquil state. But I feel like the purpose of this connection right now is for both of you to feel grounded and stable in your physical separation. And perhaps once neither one of you necessarily feel like you need each other or just another person to feel whole or to feel valuable, you feel those things on your own. That could be that healing or that last bit of self-worth or value or something like that that's needed in order to not carry on traumas and wounds or hangups from the past, you know, or insecurities from the past. Because I feel like there's an insecurity surrounding this masculine, but could also be you too, feminine, where we don't feel good enough. We just don't feel good enough. So I feel like this connection has served for the both of you to feel good enough on your own. And you know, when you feel good enough on your own, whoever you come in contact with, they sense that value. And you also come into the connection basically knowing what you deserve. When you go into connections with people and you don't have a lot of self-worth or value or self-esteem, you tend to get hurt a lot because people will just, if you're giving it, people are taking it. You know what I mean? And sometimes we feel so slighted, like, wait a second, I did all this stuff, but then you didn't appreciate me. No one asked you to give. You were just giving it away. So sometimes when we are just not really feeling solid within who we are, things can absolutely rock our world. And we can feel like it's a physical death sometimes when people change their minds or they want to separate or just spend a little bit of time doing something else. It can literally rock your entire world if you're not solid and stable within your own foundation with yourself. So I feel like the purpose of this connection right now is to stabilize your individual lives and energies. And when you're feeling more rock solid, it's not about perfection here, but when you're feeling more rock solid and stable within yourselves, it's almost like that's when your twin flame connection is going to have that divine timing, that divine time is going to be just right for that restoration, that reconciliation. So it's like until then, you guys are still riding some sort of storm trying to stabilize your connection. So you guys both inspire each other to be the best versions of yourself. And this right here is Taurus energy, by the way. All right. So let's go ahead and get some more. We're going to go into the High Priestess energy. And the High Priestess is telepathy, right? So what telepathic messages are being received at this time of this connection? And this is received by you, feminine, received by your masculine. What is the telepathic messages that are being received at this time? Oh, one of the cats wants to get in. Oh, we have the Queen of Wands that wants to come through. That's Aries energy. So we've had all the fire signs come through. Aries, Leo, and Sag. Confident and magnetic. Okay. What I want to say, feminine, is that the more confident and independent you are, the more magnetic and attractive you're going to become. And it's not like you need to prove yourself to anyone. This is just naturally occurring. So I feel like that's just a reminder for you to continue to go after your goals, continue to plant new seeds for your future. This creates more of a attractive magnetic vibe for you. And I feel like whatever energy you're in, it's like the masculine is automatically thinking of you because your fire is drawing him in like a magnet. Very interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and see where that High Priestess is. High Priestess, where are you? Sorry, guys, one of the cats is trying to get in the door. They don't like closed doors. But then they also mess up my readings because they jump on my computer and screw everything up. So yeah, okay. All right, we've got the Three of Cups and we have the Ten of Swords again. Okay, so the Ten of Swords has made its way into the reading twice. I think just like the Six of Cups did. I feel like those are our two cards. So I feel like that is significant. There is some telepathy that is connected to the past hurt and pain. I don't know what that is. Could be third party tragedy here. Yes. But I feel like the telepathic messages are about coming back together, spending time together, running into each other, and basically having a really beautiful, happy reunion. How happy you would be to see each other. So I feel like there's very positive energy, but there's also this painful energy. And the masculine was holding on to that too when it came to him reflecting to the past. There's this good part, but then there's this real shameful shadow part too. So there's some pain tied up in all of this happiness. So the happiness that you guys feel, the good thoughts that you share, there's also that thing. There's that elephant in the room that it's not that no one's talking about it, but it's just not getting addressed. What happened between the two of you has either not been spoken of, and so this might be one of the reasons why you're shifting into these telepathic ways of communicating with one another, is because you're not actually speaking about it. You're not actually talking about what happened. But there's this desire to want to talk about what happened, but it is pretty painful. So this might be the way that your higher selves are working these kinks out until the two of you can come together and actually face each other in the 3D world. Okay? So that's what the telepathic messages are about. There's shadow and light here. There's good times. There's pain here. But ultimately, I really feel like the focus is about coming together and basically reconciling with one another and bearing the hatchet and forgiving not only yourselves, but also each other, so that way you guys can move forward and just be happy once again, even if that's just closure, just being friends, or actually being in a romantic union. So I feel like you guys are both thinking about that, and you guys are both sending messages back and forth to each other. Now, telepathic messages could also come up in the forms of songs. So if you guys are suddenly hearing a lot of songs, and these songs, and you feel like, wow, like this is what I wish my masculine would just say to me, or what my feminine would say to me. That's also a form of telepathic communication. So definitely pay attention to the songs or read the lyrics of those songs, because there's messages in them, or hidden in them. See, hidden knowledge. It's hidden in the messages. So you'll find it. All right, now we're going to go into the Wheel of Fortune. And that Wheel of Fortune is what is destined and fated for this connection. All right, Wheel of Fortune. What is destined and fated for this connection? Wheel of Fortune. Here it is. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords that makes her way into this reading again. All right. Well, I feel like what's fated and destined is a showdown. With that Five of Wands and the Queen of Swords, yeah, this tells me here that the Queen of Swords will have an opportunity, and I feel like that's you, feminine. You will have the opportunity to either have the last word or to speak your truth, to get something off of your chest. This could also be that someone decides that they are going to face you despite the conflict that they know that's going to ensue. So this would be somebody who is conjuring up the strength and courage in order to face you. So I feel like this is exactly what's going to happen. No one's going to let anything stand in their way. They're not going to let their intimidation, like the intimidation factor of other people or you, stand in the way of them speaking their truth and doing what's right. The Queen of Swords, again, is Libra, and Libra is about the scales of justice. So I feel like if there's a karmic debt, especially if there's like a Ten of Swords energy here, if a karmic debt is due, I feel like this particular masculine, or whatever the roles are here, is going to return and face you. And it's going to feel stiff, and it's going to feel uncomfortable, and they're going to be intimidated. But I feel like it's fated that they're going to do it anyway. At some point in time, the wheel is going to turn, and it's going to turn in your favor, Divine Feminine. That's how I'm seeing it. And you're going to get you're going to get an explanation. You're going to get the truth, and you're going to feel restored from this information or these words that are spoken to you. That's what I'm seeing here. That's what's fated. That's what's destined. Beautiful. All right. And the last one, you guys, is the Star. So this is our 11th card. How is the universe helping to guide your connection? How is the universe helping to guide your connection? All right, we're looking for the Star. Here it is. Ooh, and then we got the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Swords coming up again. So these are repeat cards, okay? So this right here, the universe is helping to guide this connection. How? By reminding you that right now, with what's going on or what's not happening, is absolutely necessary for the healing and recovery of both twin flames, okay? This is when you guys are going to be able to actually recover. I don't even want to use this this phrasing that what should have happened from the very beginning. It couldn't have happened from the very beginning. The healing and recovery hadn't happened yet, so we couldn't have really invested in this connection. So all this other stuff had to take place first: separation, karmic relationships, whatever the hell's going on here. Okay, it all had to happen, and it's serving a purpose. When the time is right, these two stars, which is you, will align once again, and then you guys will have this opportunity to do what maybe you wanted to do, or what one of you wanted to do from the very beginning, which was to invest right then and there. We knew that the masculine, though, was not ready to invest right then and there. He had to go on an adventure of a lifetime in order to transform from that Knight of Wands to that King of Wands. And then we also had the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So I feel that right there, these two things, he had to find himself and figure out who he was through a lot of experiences that he was going to have that were either work related or just figuring out what his true value is or what's important to him in this lifetime. And he couldn't have really done it any other way except for going off on his own and figuring it out. So I feel, feminine, that how the universe is guiding your connection, it's been guiding it all along. It's not just guiding it today. It's been guiding it all along to this eventual Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is the seed. The Page of Pentacles, which we've seen here already, is the person that lays down, that puts the seed into the ground. The Ace of Pentacles is the offer from the universe. Not in this deck, but in your traditional tarot, you're going to see a hand coming from the sky with all the aces. And this particular card, it is the Ace of Pentacles that's being offered from the heavens above, from the divine, from the universe, that basically says, now it's time. Now this is ripe. Now we can plant this seed properly and watch it grow. Couldn't have done it before, but this is a future energy. So once the healing and recovery are behind this connection, the stars will align once again, and there will be opportunities in the physical world. So the 3D world, where the two of you guys may end up in the same place. Somebody runs across someone, somebody's reminded of someone, and it really pushes that person or inspires them to reach out and to change the circumstances between the two of you. And I feel like after all this period of time, however long it's been, it will be somebody is wiser, and so now they can invest because they're more mature and they can show up for this connection because before they could not. So the universe is helping to guide your connection to a rebirth and to an opportunity to actually do this in a more stable, grounded way. So that's what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed not only these messages, if they resonated with your particular journey, but also how to use your own tarot deck to basically come up with your own reading, to carve out your own reading, or to just get some special messages for your journey in just like a fun and creative way. I just like to do different stuff. So anyways, you guys, thanks so much for watching and take care. Bye-bye.